Okay, so here we have the Badger 200. It's the single action airbrush, suction feed, as you can see. I'll just take you through the operational points of the airbrush and then we'll strip it down. So first of all, you can see we've got a rubber cap at the front there. This is pretty standard now as with airbrushes from Badger. Just protects the end of the head when it's in the workshop not being used, so basically you can take that straight off. So you've got a crown cap at the front which leaves the needle still exposed quite a lot, but it will protect it from getting bent or knocked. Back here we've got adjustment for the spray, so screwing this in and out actually pulls the needle out of the nozzle, which will give you a heavier paint flow. So you adjust your paint flow by just screwing this in and out. Couldn't be any simpler. If you do it right up until you just feel it stopping, don't go too far, you'll obviously shut off all the paint there, so you just back it off and you just keep backing off until you get the required amount. Depends obviously on what sort of paint you're using, if you're using thick or thin paint, or exactly what you want to achieve with the spray, but couldn't be any simpler, to be honest. And then it's obviously, once you've set that up, press the button and that's it, paint and air at the same time. You don't have to pull anything back. This isn't a double action, this is a single action, and obviously your paint's drawn up through the bottom there. So this is actually, you can get this in a fine or medium head. This has got the fine, so it's a step up from your basic, your very basic single action airbrushes, and it's really good for a variety of applications, model making, ceramics, all sorts of stuff. It'll also take solvent paints, so you can use it on cars or whatever. So what we'll do now is we'll just strip it down and put it back together again. Okay, first things first, you might find these are a little bit tight to come straight from the factory, so just get a pair of pliers, but put something soft on the jaws, like a bit of leather or something. That'll just help you to just unscrew these initially, and then after that everything's really free. So I've just undone the chuck nut here. I'm just gonna pull out the needle. There we go. You don't actually have to take the back of this off. I'm just showing you the components really. Now that's an extremely fine thread, so you can get a really good adjustment on your paint flow. To be honest, there's no reason for me to take the handle off, but I will do. I'll just show you what's in there. As you can see, it's a very simple tool. Out in the front we've got the nozzle cap. Now the 200's got a cone nozzle, quite familiar on airbrushes now. No threads to strip. There's your retainer there, straight off. And there you go, that's your cone shaped nozzle. Good for all sorts of applications. And basically that is it. Actually, you could take the trigger out, and there you go. That's it. Now that's as far as you need to go. In fact, I don't even think you need to go that far, but I've just shown you what's there. So that's it. So what I'll do is we'll put it back together again now and just set it up. Right. Okay. I'm just going to start from the front. So first of all, we're just going to drop the nozzle in. I'd recommend putting just a little bit of lube on the nozzle, just to keep it in place while you're putting everything back together. Now there's the retainer on. Everything's hand tight on this, as is the case with most Badger airbrushes. You don't need any tools. And that's the front finished. Now I'm just going to drop the trigger in now. Now make sure you're getting the needle slot lined up. Put it in sideways, your needle's going to bump against the side of the trigger. Okay, so that's one way to look at it, is just to make sure, there we go, that's lined up correctly there. Stick the handle back on. There we go. Put this assembly into the body. Probably just do it halfway, and just make sure you've got the chuck nut backed off enough so that it would actually let the needle through. I've put a little bit of lube on the needle, it just helps it go through the PTFE needle bearing towards the front of the airbrush, and just feed it in. Now you'll feel it just come to a bit of a sort of a stop, and that's entering the needle bearing, so just give it a little bit of a push and just back it off, and just, there you go. Now when you just nip that up, just hold that, and that's got it now. That's all ready to go now basically, so all you need to do now is adjust it to what sort of spray pattern or how much paint you want to go through. So there you go, it was as simple as that. Okay, as I said, you get a jar in the set, that simply just fits into the bottom of the airbrush, like so. It's got a plastic tube on it, so it won't scratch the airbrush, and that's it. It's all ready to go. It'll use solvent paints, water-based. It's good for cars. It'll do, with this head on, it'll actually do very fine line to 2 inches. So it's good for inks, dyes, watercolours, reduced acrylics, fabric paints, model paints, automotive lacquers, enamels, anything you want to throw at it really. And it's just a very reliable, simple brush for somebody that doesn't want to go into the ins and outs of a double action or be bothered to learn how to use a double action brush. It's just it's a no-brainer really. It's just great for, and I can see this lasting a lifetime. There's absolutely zero to go wrong with it. So that's the Badger 200.